Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I can't believe that I'm back again so quickly. My first video went live last week and my second one week later. I didn't think it would happen as quickly as that, but now that I'm back to doing what I really love doing, it's given me lots more energy, a lot more get up and go and drive. Not 100%, but I am so much better. And I would like to thank everybody who has watched my video. So far there's been over 3,000 views, which is amazing, especially considering I've been away for such a long time. And also there's over 200 comments that have been left. I have read them all, but I will go through them again because I know some of them do require an answer. So today the card I'm going to be showing you how to make, I don't know what name it is. I've had a look on, because I don't know what name it is, it's been difficult to try and see if anybody else has already made this. The only person I know is May, and she did a video of 10 cards of different ways of using your designer series paper. I think she calls it patterned paper or pattern cardstock or something, but it's all the same sort of thing. It's just she doesn't use Stampin' Up obviously because she's got her own store. But I was really impressed with this card. It's so easy to make and really very quick. One thing I would like to point out, because I have about 7 cards to show you all together, most of the sentiments and the images that I've been using on here are from my stash, because I'd built up so much while I'm trying to finish off my retired cardstock, which I haven't used any here, and my retiring designer series paper. I'm also trying to use up these as well, plus the fact it does help me to keep my videos a little bit shorter, but it doesn't mean to say that this is the way that I always will be. I'm sure you'd rather me do a video each week, even if it means a little bit of cheating, as long as you get the actual design, and this is brilliant. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you today, and most of the cards I've got I have done 2 ways. Like these, they've got different coloured cardstock, but they've got the black stripe going through them on both of them. Now the others, you will find other variations. Maybe it'll have a colour there, or it might have white. They're all very varied. So I'm going to start off by, this is the one I'm going to do the alternative of. So I'm going to do that design on those sides and that one there. And when you cut, when you've got your one piece, you can decide which way you want it to go. And the other thing I'm going to do on the card now is where I've got the Highland Heather stripes there, on the card I'm going to make is going to be white stripes, but it's going to be a Highland Heather card base. These were from my stash already. Okay, unfortunately I don't know which stamp sets they came from, which isn't very helpful, I know, and I apologise for that. Right, so the card pieces you're going to need, and all the measurements will be in the box below the video, including centimetres for A4 cardstock users and inches for A4 cardstock users and US letter size. So what I'm giving you now are inches for A4. The card base is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches. And on this one I am using what I call 2 middle layers, and a middle layer to me is you have your card base, you have a middle layer, then you got your top layer. Okay, so these are 2 middle layers, and these measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So you've got 2 of those, and 1 sheet of designer series paper, which is from the Perennial Lavender design series paper, which is being carried forward into the new catalogue, which is unusual, but there's at least one other that I know is being carried forward, and that's Countryside Inn, which has a lot of blue designs. So right, this measures this one measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. So what we need to do, we take our trimmer and I just need a couple of pieces of post-it notes. So what we're going to do, we're going to take opposite diagonal corners and we're going to line those up in our cutting, what do we call that, cutting track. This is a bit like relearning card making again. Right, now when you do this, make sure that your cutting blade is somewhere over your cardstock, because if you use your blade straight onto the point either end, it might ruck it up and spoil it. So that must go absolutely corner to corner. If you're off, the design's not going to work very well. Okay, so that's okay with that one. Now, what I'm going to do with this, you can just hold it together if you like, but I don't, because I just want to make sure it's not going to slide. So I'm just going to hold those two pieces together. Again, this really must be spot on, otherwise it will affect how you line this up. Okay, so those two pieces are together beautifully. Now you're going to turn it round so you've got the other diagonal corners. Okay, so we've got one here. Now we're going to do this one. So I'm going to line that up and that corner right in the centre of the cutting track. Again, I want to make sure that my blade is over the cardstock, the design series paper, and cut. Alright, so I've got those four. Obviously you need to pay special attention if you're using a directional pattern, as I am. Okay, now when you get to this stage you have a choice. You can either flip those two over, like that, or you can flip those two pieces over, like that. Alright, now this is the one I'm going to do, because that's the one I did previously. And I need one of my pieces of white cardstock, so I'm going to have the white triangle underneath, the white lines underneath. So what I'm going to do, so that I put my glue on the right sides, I'm going to put those over, and I'm going to put those over, and just make sure that you've got your directional pattern in the right way, which will be that one. That's upside down, and that's upside down, so that's okay, as long as they're both going the same way. If that bothers you, I can turn it around that way, so it is up the right way. Okay, so that's not essential, but I'm sure some of you prefer it to be correct. Right, so the pieces that I do first are these two. Now I don't measure this, it's all eyeballing it. And I just put a triangle of glue on there. Turn it over. And I'm just going to leave about 1/8 of an inch gap down here. Hopefully you'll see this okay, because it's white. Yes, I'm in screen. And what I'm doing is I'm just judging that I've got the same gap there as I have there. Just lift it out to make sure that looks straight. Yes. Methinks. Yep. Now I'm going to turn this up the other way to do the second piece. I think that if I tried doing it, if I left it like that and I tried sticking this piece on here, I might not leave that gap like that, because I'm looking at it from a different angle. These little bits are what I've learned having made so many of these cards, so that hopefully you won't make the mistakes that I did. Okay, so I'm going to line this up again, trying to make the same gap that I left before, making sure it's straight. They should more or less be pointing to each other. Yep. And now if I put glue on these two, in fact, thinking about it now, I've probably got my flowers upside down. But as I say, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to try and leave the same gap there, while I've still got the same gap down here as I have here. Now, if you haven't done this perfectly, this is where it's going to show, because you'll find that this gets really quite different. But at that bit, it doesn't matter. That explains why I always decorate the centre bit there. Well, that's one of the reasons why I decorate the centre bit. The other reason I decorate the centre bit is because I think that way you get the best beauty, the full beauty out of this design. Then pop this one down. Again, try and line up the white cross there is about the same, and leaving the same white there. Let me put that on there so you can see that better. Okay, so that's not bad. In fact, that's probably the best one I've done so far. Alright, so that's that, and I'm going to pop this on top here. And what I am trying to do, I'm trying to get used to using my Stampin' seal, purely and simply because it's quicker. Now, what I've been finding with this one, I think it's a lot stronger than snail that we had. I mean, I didn't use snail light a lot, but when I did, I liked it. And when you come to the end, I know by watching other people, you have to give it a little bit of a flick. But if you do flick too much, then it makes the sticky bit disappear. So just do it on the side there. Right, let's see if I've managed to keep it. Okay, then just a little on the side, just to break the stringy, what I call the stringy bit. Yeah, otherwise you just have to keep running it through like that, which we didn't have to do with snail. No, I need this side. There we go. Now, make sure I don't put it on upside down. There we go. Now, when I gave you the card pieces that you needed, I only gave you one top layer, and that's because we've gone on to a Highland Heather card base. So that one's going to fit the same as the white underneath. But if you wanted another layer in here, and I would do it in the Highland Heather, and I would do it the same size as that piece there. But that really is a matter of choice. Right, I've done one. Let's see if I can do another one. Nope. Obviously, I'm trying to get back into the routine again. And I decided that I would try giving this a go. I don't like to be beaten with things. I know that this was a challenge to a lot of people, and I thought, well, if I persevere, I might get to grips with it. So watch this space. Whether I'm still doing this in a month's time or something, I don't know. Okay, so that's my card. Doesn't feel as if I've used my bone fold on this, does it? Let's do it for the other side. Right, as I say, I have cheated and I have prepared these. I don't know what stamp set that one comes from, but this white was already in my stash, so it was already in Highland Heather. I got all sorts of sentiments in all sorts of colours, and I will gradually get used to them. This, I will confess, I have coloured myself, and this was from the stamp set. I don't know what it was, I can't remember the name of it, but do you remember there was one large stamp and it was all different butterflies and one die to go with it, so that the one die, you could stamp all the butterflies and then die cut it, and I finished up with loads of these because I often did that and I only wanted one butterfly. Right, let's get some dimensionals. I want to pop these up. And then I'll show you the first one I did of the lavender so that you can see the difference between having the different colours. The lavender one, the other lavender and this one, I need to do another butterfly each to decorate the inside. Must not go too far. So that's straight. I'm not sure that is ready, is it? That looks better. And with the butterfly, I'm going to glue his body. Oh, not really much room, is there? Where should we put him? There he is, he'll go there. Right, so, in fact, I'm going to glue that part of his body so that sticks down, but the wings I'm putting up on dimensionals. In fact, I'd better keep these as little ones, didn't I? Because I want to get as close to this as possible. Right, okay, I'm just going to put some glue right the bottom quarter of an inch or so. There we go. Just take these off. There we go. So what do you think of that? Nice easy card to make. On some of them what I did was I did take 2 pieces of design series paper, both the same, cut them at the same time. It worked, but it was a bit risky. So let me show you the other cards that I've made. Okay, so that was that one. So you can see the difference with the Highland Heather stripe and the white stripe, with the coloured cardstock and the white cardstock. But do note, I do prefer it when they've got solid colour, those. So next to, I did a masculine one using the fishing. And again, this is the same way this one, so I've got my 2 dark solid ones on the blue card with the white stripes, and on the white card with the blue stripes. Okay, so you got those, that one. And I fussy cut the fishes. They were in my stash, but I fussy cut those. And I did some inside as well. Those two. This one is obviously current design series paper. The different colours with the black and the black on that one. So that was different. And those were stash, but those were fussy cut. And then I got the ones that I'm not very happy with, and that's this. And I think that this is what made me decide where you need a solid colour like this one. Although this was one sheet of design series paper, you know, that's one side, that's the other, I don't think it quite works. But again, it's the same thing. It's got the coloured cardstock with the white, and then the white card with the, what colour was that? Petal pink. This is a one-off. I didn't do two of this one. And that's Pool Party and Wild Wheat. That was already in my stash, and so was that. I don't think I decorated the inside of that one, no. But that's when I used the extra layer on that one. I did it the same size as that design series paper, so it gives you that bigger gap around it. And what the very first card I made was this one here, which is the thank you card that I made for my customers, the people who shop with me in during March, and I was really pleased with that. Would have loved to have made more like that, but I only had 2 sheets of the bubble bath. I think that's bubble bath, isn't it? And I only had one little piece of this design series paper left. But this one was made on one of the note cards that are available in the catalogue, which is 3.5 by 5, and it comes with its own envelopes as well, and it's made with thicker cardstock, so that's really lovely. So as you can see, I've had an absolutely fabulous time with this. I do apologise for using retired bits and pieces that I found, but I'm sure lots of you must already use retired stash, and you've probably got your own sentiments and everything. I certainly hope so. I have kept a lot of Stampin' Up stamp sets that I've got no intention of getting rid of. Whether it's any of these or not, I don't know. But yeah, I've got a lot. In fact, I have just an absolute handful of current stamp sets, because obviously I haven't been buying them for the last couple of years, well, 20 months. So I'm really now ready to, that's also part of the reason why using up this kind of stuff, because I don't really have much of a selection. But I know you are very, very forgiving, you're very, very understanding, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much. If you would like to buy anything from my online store, the link will be in the box below. And this is the HOSTESS code for you to use during April, so that I can send you some free product when I send out my handmade thank you card, which I send out with an envelope, and I don't write inside, so it is free for you to use. I also make a handmade gift as well. If you use that number, you get a bit of free product too. So, all right. One other thing is to remind all of you that on the 9th of April, which will be this coming Tuesday, what date is it today? The 5th of April today. So next Tuesday, we start our last chance products sale, which means all the products that we have remaining from the annual catalogue and the spring summer catalogue, which are going to retire on 30th of April, any stock from those catalogues will be available, and there will be a lot of them that have discounted prices on them, and some of the discounts go up to 60%. What is available in Europe won't necessarily be the same as in North America or South Pacific. The sale is really based on whatever stock is left, and something that's more popular in the US that sold out a lot quicker may still be on our list, but it might not be on their list, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm not going to start waffling again or carry on waffling. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and hopefully I'll be back next week, but don't hold your breath just in case. It's a short week. It's a 4-day week for me next week again, because we're going out next Friday, but I'll tell you that next week. All right, many thanks to everybody. Love you all. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye.